So, hey everybody. I'm so happy to have Les Brockman with us here today. He answered the call when I said, does somebody have a testimony or a witness that you'd like to share? And he enthusiastically raised his hand and said he does. And so I appreciate that you're here. Can't wait to hear this story of yours. Les, you were saying you had some health challenges, and you know that you had an encounter with God throughout this. So with all that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you. I want to hear your story.
Okay, thank you. Basically, what I can remember, it's started in high school. I broke my wrist, and it was pretty bad. And when this was like back in '67. Back then there was procedures and there weren't. And then the doctor said, well, we don't know, he might have to lose his hand. And my mom and dad said, oh no, let's see what we can do, because he's only like 15, 16 years old. So not knowing as a younger person to call in, it worked out fine. I was in a cast for about 9 months, and then I had to strengthen my hand and everything worked out. So it's like, you don't think about it then until you get older in life, and you say, wow, you could have lost your hand and it could have been a totally different situation for you. So that happened. And then I would say it was actually 2006. I had went to work, and when I got off of work, I felt a ping in my right side, and I said, oh, okay. So then I picked Carla up, and then I said, something's not right. I said, I felt a ping in my right side. I said, and right now it's just a little painful. So later on that night, and this was like I said, this was November of 2006. So, okay, so then I got up the next morning, and this was just before Thanksgiving, I do believe, about a week or two. And I said, my side is really bothering me. So I called my medical center and called my doctor, and he said, well, come in right away. We'll look at you before I get started. So I went in, he said, what's wrong? I said, my right side is bothering, it's really sore. He touched my right side, and I said, oh. So he walked out, he said, I'll be right back. He said, he went in the room, came back about 30 seconds later, and he had another doctor with him, and they touched my side again. And they both looked at each other, and he said, did you drive? I said, yeah, me and my wife are out here. He said, get in the car, drive to the hospital now. Don't go home, don't do anything, go to the hospital. So we went to Columbia Hospital, which was over on the UWM campus at the time. And then they took me straight in and took me to surgery. So then come to find out my appendix had ruptured. And I walked around for a day and a half with a ruptured appendix. So then when the surgeons got out, it was almost 8 hours I was under. And they came in and told my wife what had happened. And then when I finally came back consciousness, he said, we have never seen anything like that before. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, your appendix ruptured. He said, 99% of the people whose appendix ruptured die. He said, for some reason, your immune system walled everything off. Your immune system kept it from spreading throughout your body. He said, we had not seen anything like that before. So I said, oh my God. So then right then I knew. I haven't told many people about it because, people go through cancer, some come back, some don't. But for your immune system to actually wall itself off and let you proceed to go on and do some things for a day, and then the next day you go in and have surgery, it's just beyond. And it was beyond belief for me, because I had, and it's like, wow. So I share it every now and then because let people know, hey, God is good because he's out here for you, and there's a blessing for you, you just have to have faith. And I said, wow. So, and it took me about 2 weeks to actually get out after the surgery. It took 2 weeks to get out of the hospital because I could barely walk. I had to get my strength back and stuff. But the doctor said, to them, it was a miracle because that's what they do. That's a miracle. They don't use blessings and things. I said, no, that was a blessing. So that's why I figure I'm here today, still doing things that I do like to do, find it easy to talk to people, and then just experience each day. I wake up in the morning and I say, thank you for waking me up. Even if I have to get up and go to the bathroom and I wake up, I say, ooh, thank you for waking me up, so because it's not a given. it's never a given that you're going to be here from day to day. So I look at it that way. And then after I had the surgery, about 10 years later, I had to go back in for another surgery because scar tissue had wrapped itself around my urinary system. And then come to find out, when I went in and I told the doctor, and he said, okay, and then we went in, and it wasn't a rush, but they had to do it. It was the same surgeon that had did my appendix surgery. He said, that looks like my scar right there. Then I looked at him, he looked at me. He said, did your appendix rupture a while back? I said, about 10 years ago. He said, I knew that. So I was back at it again with the same surgeon. So I know that was a blessing because usually you don't get the same surgeon twice. Oh. Period. Some people had the same, for cancer, you have the same doctors or you see different ones. I had the same surgeon. I had my same doctor until he retired 2 years ago. So I had my normal doctor for at least 20 years, and then I had the surgeon for at least 10, 12 years, So I look at it as a blessing. I try and make each day count, Carla will tell you, oh, he fusses, but he'll go do it anyway. He's just got to get it out. And that's what I do. But then I always say, thank you for letting me get out here and do what I can do to help Cross Church, help other people I know, deliver stuff with the adult center, just living life and being glad that I'm still here after all the surgeries. So I just look at it as a blessing, and I'm glad that each day is here and I can partake in it, so.
I love that when you look back on the story of your life, you see God present with you in the ways that God has protected you and healed you, and that you, in response, have been looking for ways, how can I serve? How can I use every day that's been gifted to me as a way to be a blessing to others? And I think that is a beautiful story.
I just try and, be an uplifting person as much as I can. Sometimes I'm a grumpy old man, and then sometimes I'm not, so.
Yeah. Well, you've earned it, so good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So.
Well, thank you for being here and chatting and sharing a portion of your story and encouraging the rest of us in the process. And I just pray that God will continue to bless you and protect you as you go about the rest of your days.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been touched, and I just try and share it as much as I can. So
that is awesome. That is so awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Les. You take care. And I know that you've got a busy day. I know that you're heading back. You're heading out. You got stuff to do. You are taking the time you've been given and you're using it to bless the congregation, the city, all of that. And so
all of it, yes. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Well, you take care.
All right, you too. And you have a good, blessed rest of the day, okay?
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.